Alright, so hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today I want to share a build idea with you, and it's something that I put together after the recent crit buffs. Now, I'm personally using this on the Redeemer Prime, but it should work just fine on many other weapons as well. So for this particular setup, I'm running Bullet Dance as my stance, which is my preferred stance for Gunblades, now that they've changed it a little bit, so it doesn't make me motion sick anymore, it doesn't shake the screen like crazy, but you know, just use whatever stance you like. After that, we have Sacrificial Pressure for the melee damage, and this also buffs Sacrificial Steel up to 275% crit chance, which is doubled for heavy attacks, so you get 550% increased crit on a heavy attack. This is just crazy. I mean, even 275% is pretty high, but 550, that's just nuts, especially when combined with something like the Redeemer Prime. So that's how we scale our crit. Then we want to get some attack speed for just normal play, but also to speed up the charge attack. So we have Berserker here, which goes really well with the permanent crits we're getting on our heavy attacks. Then I'm running Corrupt Charge, which allows you to always have a 2x combo multiplier, which straight up just doubles the damage of your heavy attack, because otherwise you would always be at 0 because, well, you keep spending it on the heavy attacks. However, there is a pretty substantial downside here, that minus 50% combo duration is pretty bad. It means that your combo only lasts 2.5 seconds, so you can't really build your combo up when you're not using heavy attacks because it just disappears way too fast. But for this build, it's perfect. Moving on from there, we have Amalgam Organ Chatter. Now, this is only slightly weaker than normal Organ Chatter, which gives you 90% critical damage, but this one also gives you 60% faster heavy attack wind-up. Now, this only seems to matter for the Redeemer Prime anyway, on the first shot. It doesn't seem to do an awful lot if you're chaining heavy attacks back to back. But you know, it helps at least a little bit. After that, we have Killing Blow, which on this setup provides about 1/3 of my damage before crit and combo multiplication. So it's a pretty strong mod, and it also has the same secondary effect as Amalgam Organ Chatter, so it makes your heavy attack wind up a little bit faster, though I'm not entirely sure if there is actually a big difference whether you only have one or both of them, but it provides a lot of damage, so I put it there anyway. And finally, we have Primed Fever Strike and Shocking Touch for a lot of corrosive damage, and the reason I didn't go for dual stat mods is because you don't really need to proc status if you're one-shotting everything. And also, please bear in mind that I do have 2 Gladiator mods on my Inaro, so I'm getting a little bit of extra crit thanks to Corrupt Charge, and I also have Arcane Strike for the extra attack speed. The only enemy type that this particular setup has trouble with are Heavily Armored Grineer with Alloy Armor. You just can't one-shot them past like level 100, but if they are at around level 100, you can just blow them away with a single shot. But that is mainly because we're using Corrosive, and if you switch over to Radiation, yeah, you can one-shot them up to 155, no problem. Another thing that I kind of like about this setup, on the Redeemer Prime at least, is that it works even without spamming heavy attacks. It's of course not as effective as if you're spamming them back to back, but it can still deal even with sortie-ish level enemies relatively quickly without using heavy attacks. So unless you're doing some super high level stuff, you can deal with most enemies by just using normal combos, which most of the time is going to be faster, and just save heavy attacks for the beefier units. Now, don't get me wrong, this is definitely not the best setup you can put on the Redeemer Prime. That one, out of all the ones I've seen, will probably have to go to the one that Headshot made, and I will link that one in the description down below, so if you want maximum damage, you probably want to use that one instead. But as I've said at the very beginning, it is a build idea, something you can play around with, try it on different weapons, maybe shuffle the mods around a little bit and see what you can come up with. Or you know, maybe you can just copy the whole thing, try it out and see if you like it, because it does more than enough damage for pretty much everything in the game. You can do sorties, arbitrations, you can hunt liches, basically anything you can think of. So, you know, just play around with it. It's an idea, and that's pretty much what I wanted to say. So I thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.